have an area of the riverfront that was previously going to be put into other uses that is now going to be about $2 billion of investment here in the city. Work in neighborhoods, a neighborhood investment strategy that's leveraged both public and private resources to begin to really make change in about 6 neighborhoods in this community. The list goes on, and I'm biased in that regard because I've been a part of this. And going to now the portion that I talked about a little earlier about who you are, I came here because I was working as a lobbyist, as Ashley mentioned in my introduction. State lobbyist, so I'm not like one of the Washington guys that you would see and are probably more well-known, but the same principles apply. I mean, I was hired to represent companies, individuals, associations that could afford to pay their payroll, take care of all of the costs associated with their business, but then also could afford to pay me anywhere from $5,000 to $17,000 per month. And I say me, it wasn't just my money, my firm, that amount of money to retain us, to advocate on their behalf, just in a very discreet setting. We were advocating on behalf of the legislature for their interests, so I was paid to either kill a bill or get a bill passed. I was a hired gun, that's what I did. And at times, it put me in direct conflict. Rare times because I was with a firm that really cared about it, about the work that we did, but it put me in conflict with things that I personally believe. How can I get up there and advocate on behalf of a company whose policy is not quite where I'm at personally? And it was a challenge for me. Ultimately, I knew I wanted to take the few skills I'd assembled in working in the legislature, learning the process, learning the law, how to utilize the law in terms of being persuasive, impacting decisions that are made on policy. How could I take that and really affect people? And it was at that time that I came to know Mayor Kilpatrick. I'm going to take a minute to talk to you all about him because you might not get this. You might not get this. I'm just going to venture to say that. But I met the mayor when before he had actually run for the legislature. He comes from a political family. His mother served as a state representative in the Michigan House. And at the time she decided to run for Congress and vacated her seat, he decided to run for her seat. We had actually met before as undergrads. He went to Florida A&M, I went to Michigan State. All right, we got some rattlers in here. Okay, couple. I went to Michigan State. I know Michigan State University College of Law is here. Y'all gotta be here. Oh. That's what I said. I'm gonna put that on me then. Maybe I'm not doing what I need to be doing. But anyway, I met him because we were on semester. So we were out of school and everybody else was out of school, we were still in. So people would just come to Michigan State really just to hang out and kick it. Terrence Thompson is here. He is the Midwest, I think he's way back in the back. He's the Midwest president. He's a fraternity brother of mine. So what that meant for me at the time was that when I pledged, everybody else was out of school and came and hung out with me and with my life. But in any event, that was how I met the mayor when he was hanging out at Michigan State. So he ran for the legislature. I'm up there working. I was working for a senator from here in Detroit. I knew the guy. I was like, man, this guy's pretty young. He's running for the legislature. But I was like, how can I say that he's too young to do what he's doing and not disqualify myself? How can I say that he's too young to do what he's doing and not put into question what I'm trying to do? Because we're about the same age. I'm actually a little older. Long story short, I supported him. He was successful, and I watched quickly him come into a dynamic that was really stacked against him. All of the power was towards the west side of the state. Republican governor, and I watched this guy come in and be able to maneuver through a process and become a leader and the first African-American leader of the Democratic Party in the House in the state's history. At that point I was sold. I was like, what can I do to help this brother do what he's trying to do? I wanted to stay in the private sector, do what I was doing. By that point I had become a lobbyist. He decided he was going to run for mayor. And again, I'm thinking, wow, this guy's young. He wants to run for mayor of the city of Detroit, but again, how can I say that he's too young and not invalidate me and what I was trying to do? Supported him, he was successful. He came in and actually really changed some of the policies that I knew, that I had been working on, that I had seen occur in this city, doing things that really favored this city and the people of the city that he grew up in and loves. I'm going to give you a couple of quick examples as I quickly come to a close. Ashley's out there probably looking at her watch. I don't know where she is right now. But some of the things that he did that really kind of changed the power structure here is he put a focus on If the money that we use to operate government comes from the people that live here, let's use that money to support the businesses and the people that live here. Let's hire those businesses. Let's put those people to work. That instantly caused a reaction from the traditional economic power structure here in the city. Companies that I represented, companies that I knew how they operated, they would operate in a way in which they made all of their money here in the city but invested nothing in the city. That caused a lot of people to really question who this guy was, not from anything other than his policies. So if you can't get at somebody in their policies because they're sound, what do? You got to find another way to define them. Let's call him the hip-hop man. He never called himself that. Somebody else defining who you are. How would that feel to you? As hard as you worked, as much as you've accomplished, I'm just going to decide that you're somebody else because I chose so for a different reason. Frustrating, but we kept working. We kept working and we moved the needle on what was happening here in the city. Not only from a development perspective, but from how people felt about the city. Imagine if for all of your life you was told that you ain't in. Nothing good about you. Your schools are terrible. You're uneducated. You're violent. You're the murder capital. And then you want to go off to school somewhere and he always tells a story. I've never had it happen to me because I didn't grow up here. But when you say you're from Detroit, there's a reaction. Ooh, from Detroit. Wow. Man, what's going on? They think you got a gun? What's going on? You know, it's that kind of thing. I never experienced that. I grew up diametrically opposed to what Detroit is. Very small, predominantly white community on the west side of the state. It's where I grew up. Never experienced that. But now, being here, going into some of the rooms that I have to go in this city, in Washington and elsewhere, having this hair that I wear, I know what that reaction is. You see me and you think it's something that you associate with something else, something that I'm not. But you can't define me. I'm defined by who I am and the work that I do. You all are defined by who you are and the work that you do. I'm offering this because think about what you guys are doing right now. You guys are learning to become lawyers. If y'all can't get this, if you all can't see this, and if you all can't have a critical analysis of at least what's going on, and I'm talking about this city because it's where I'm at and it's where I work, but what's going on throughout the country. How one candidate is treated when they make a mistake and say that they were under heavy gunfire coming into Bosnia and the rockets ready to glare all around. And, you know, how they're treated. Versus another candidate who was questioned on everything from their ethnicity to their name to where they're from, trying to be defined for a purpose. So if you guys can't see through that on that level and on a local, more myopic level that I'm dealing with every day, then we're in trouble. We're in trouble as a people, and this country's in trouble. Because if you guys don't keep what you have right now, that analytical, sharp mind that's allowing you to stand up before judges in a Fred Doug competition and in the morning argue one side of the case, in the afternoon argue the exact opposite side with the same conviction. I always love going as respondent because I would sit there and listen to what the petitioner was saying, what judge liked it and didn't, and try to box them in and use it against them. I love that stuff. But in any event, if you guys aren't able to continue to have that, we're in trouble. You're a law student for a very short period of time. You'll be a lawyer if you protect your P number, if you protect what you've invested in for the rest of your life. All right, so I'm going to come to a close by just saying, you know, enjoy your time here in the city of Detroit. Take an opportunity if you can to get out, see what's going on in the city, enjoy yourself, have a good time, spend some money. We would love to have your tax revenue. All right, I might send you all down at Asian Village a little later. Enjoy the balance of the convention. We look forward to at least another 40 years for this organization. Thank you.